Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Jace Beleren Must Die. Though, I gotta say, Road, if anybody's likely to die this episode,
Why
my
would you start like
zibs
this?
are on you. But we'll
Why would
get
you
to
do
that.
this?
Well, so what's
start.
even better is to find out whether or not you're gonna get stabbed or whatever. We're gonna do the whole intro. Then I'm gonna do a little vignette with Tack. Then we can find out
Know this?
about what happened.
I was like, Katie May, if you find out before noon, you're gonna be lucky. Buckle up.
So before we get started, before the show started, we were hanging out and chatting and getting everything set up. And what was it you said about turnabout on this situation, Katie? About how you had done this before? I think
I can't put this on the record. No, I've never had cruel DM cliffhangers done to me, but I do them all the time in my game. And so I spent the whole week being like, "Oh, I'm an asshole."
to be fair, I did do the Dungeon Master equivalent of sending you a text message that said we need to talk and then not replying to you for a week.
Yeah, I remember. I very distinctly remember compared this to the one time that I saved one of my players' final death save roll. I ended right before it.
I did that.
Monsters.
I've done that.
See, TK, that kind of behavior I would expect from you because I knew going into this that you were a villain. But
In my defense, he punched a cop.
okay,
and
that's a good way to be forced
tried to
make
run
death
away.
saves.
I get tweets all the time being like, "Katie May, you are the cruelest DM," and I'm like, I honestly don't see it, but okay. But this week was kind of like, oh.
Little soul searching this week. That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, so you inspired a lot of introspection.
Well, some of our cast members were in hell over the weekend, and I would love to hear how that went. Because I was super busy, as you are when you do things like this, and other people make cool content, and you're like, that looks great, but tell me about it. How was it? How was the descent? Did we have fun in hell?
Yeah, it was great. I was working almost the entire time. I was like nonstop.
Yeah.
I was trying to film and edit to get the content out as fast as possible. So I didn't spend. If I wasn't filming, I was performing. If I wasn't performing, I was back at the hotel editing. I think I went through like 9 Red Bulls in a week.
Is it any of the new flavors, or are you a classic?
I'm either a sugar-free.
Awkwardly sipping this Red Bull I already have.
Flavor doesn't matter because it goes in by IV.
But yeah, I like 0 I'm a big fan of 0.
Okay. Yeah. There's a vodka cranberry, not vodka cranberry. Whoops. Oops.
It's a little early for that.
There's a vodka cranberry.
Perfect. Good. I like it.
When you have to have the taste of vodka with no alcohol, it just tastes like vodka.
No.
You need that slap in the face.
They're making non-alcoholic Heineken, which is
Oh
like
my God.
I've seen commercials for this where it was literally this guy who was at the commercial is a selling point of him being at a business meeting, drinking a Heineken, and every like his CEO, the CFO, all the people were like, "What do you do? Like this is not appropriate." He's like, "Guys, relax. There's no alcohol in it."
So what you can have the cool guy effect of cracking a beer without actually getting drunk, but everyone thinks you're drinking. Like I don't
In the conference room.
I don't know.
Go to rehab. Just go to rehab.
Heineken. I don't know a single person who drinks Heineken for the flavor. So
I think James Bond did because they like had that thing where he's
they did
martinis. He's a Heineken man.
What a
Wow,
weird
that's
shift.
really disgusting and sad.
Make sure my Heineken is not shaken.
Yeah, right.
I guess-
Please don't shake my
Hashtag not sponsored. I guess.
weird. Yeah. What is it? Do we,
Heineken, don't call us.
yeah. Do we have to disclose when we're anti-sponsored by someone?
Yeah,
tell
anytime
you.
somebody mentions like an Applebee's, it's like, Applebee's, don't you dare call us. If I see you.
I actually think that's their new slogan. Applebee's, don't you dare.
Do not.
Do not.
It just says it on the door.
Yeah, just right on the door. Don't you
Oh,
dare.
Delivery, like drive-through window, it's just like, nope. It's
Hi,
like
welcome
bars and
Don't you dare.
Yeah, welcome to Applebee's. How dare you?
The parking lot is just full of like the tire spikes.
Yeah.
It just says Applebee's. You sure?
Right, and the servers are supposed to say that after they take the order. They're like, I'll have the onion blossom. Really? Is that
Sure.
that's
Like,
what you want?
oh,
I'll give you a minute to think about that.
You want to pull the trigger on that one, or?
Who
I
did you
guess.
lose the bet? Like at the bottom of your receipts.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed your time here at Applebee's, but hope is false. So have a nice day.
We're Applebee's.
It's like the Ravenloft Applebee's.
No.
So- No,
No punishment is great enough to have an Applebee's in Ravenloft.
I mean, there's gotta be one of the many dark domains of the Land of Mists that's just like
No one
a
is that
family
evil.
style restaurant.
Not a single person.
The Margaritaville.
Oh yeah, yeah. Wow, terrifying.
Rainforest Cafe.
There's probably
Rainforest.
Rainforest Cafe. No. Yeah, there's probably an Applebee's in like Barovia somewhere. I think Strahd's gross enough that he'd have an
God,
Applebee's.
that's gotta be. I do really like the idea of like franchise restaurants in various Dungeons and Dragons settings and what they would be like.
Oh man, what if there, you know what? I take it back. There probably is a domain where you have to work at an Applebee's and that's just all it is.
Like, can you imagine what a TGI Fridays
No.
staffed by the Red Wizards of Thay would be like?
Fuddruckers?
Yeah, right. Welcome to the lawful evil wizard fascist version of TGI Fridays, which
That's
is
just
like regular TGI Fridays but with wizards.
like wizards. So it's like instead of the little flags or whatever that come in your club sandwiches, it's tiny red wizard hats.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Actually, it'd be a Panera because they're the bread wizards of Thay.
Red Bull Wizards. Oh, I want to be a
quit.
Red Bull Wizard. Sorry. This is my dream now.
Just constantly under the effects of haste until you die.
Hate it.
Perfect. Well, how was your experience in Hell, TK? Did you have a good time?
Yeah, DM's Guild sponsored us to be there, so the Tales from the Mist crew hung out at the booth and like answered or gave riddles for the like there was a little scavenger hunt thing where people were getting soul coins, so we, you know,
Yeah.
we helped with like the riddles and stuff, and I got mistaken for Mad Maggie like 4 times. So life goal. Worked out great. Worked out great. I was like, no, I am a night hag, but not like that night hag. Like we all defer to her. So
Sure, right.
It was like prom all over again.
oh, it's a good time. No, my prom was terrible. This was way better than prom.
I have this thing that happens where when I interact with people online long enough in a role playing context, I lose the ability to recognize them in real life. So
Oh
I
my
imagine that like TK, if we ever met in real life, I imagine that you're about 3 feet tall and covered in knives. Like I'm sure of it. And if I saw you standing next to someone else, I'd be like, this is weird. Why are you so tall? Like why are
Yeah,
you
it's
human-sized?
There
unfortunate.
needs to be
PSA
a
took
word.
my knives, so I couldn't bring them. It was like,
There
Adam,
needs to be a word for when you meet someone that you know online only by their weird Twitter profile pic.
Yeah.
And you're not
Mhm.
able to like recognize them in real life. Like I have so many people just come up to me and like be like, oh yeah, blah blah. And I'm like, I don't know who you are. And then they introduce themselves and I'm like, it still doesn't click. And then I get home and I check Twitter or I check my phone later on in the day. And I'm
mhm.
like, oh, that was that person.
Yeah.
I wish there was a term for it when you
No, I recognize y'all. I just ignore you.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's
wow.
nice.
Cold.
It's
Cool.
untrue.
Like even me, I know that you're.
Not you. I would say hi to you.
I would say hi to you, girl on
No,
the show.
I think I was mean to Carlos all week. But I was nice to Serena, so it checks out.
There you go.
I think Carlos
we're-
likes that anyway, so you're fine.
Yeah.
There's always like somebody with like, I always choose somebody that I stream with. I'm like, your face looks like you're particularly bullyable.
So not actually that different than a knife-covered goblin.
I'm not even upset. I'm just
I'm like,
glad I have that it's true that people have been gaslighting me this long and it's finally come to light.
No, I do the same thing to Pruitt from Web DM, so it's fun. And Greg Grimjack, I do it to him too. I'm like, he cry. Some people just look like they'd be really pretty criers.
Pretty criers.
Just keep Carlos away from lockers. You know, just stay safe, Carlos. Avoid these. You got to stand up to these bullies, Carlos.
He successfully managed to sneak away from a dinner that was scheduled with us, so it worked out. He's safe this time. Next time, Carlos.
Let's try maybe not to threaten our fellow cast members with future violence. Just putting that out there.
No, I would never.
No, it's true. It's not real violence. It's just fantasy violence. Rated T for teen.
Is that what the show is? Oh no.
I mean,
I don't know.
Is this for real?
someone asked me on Twitter about a Roll20 Presents show that we did years ago. That we did some adventures from Tyranny of Dragons, and someone on Twitter asked me, "Hey, is the Tyranny of Dragons playthrough like kid friendly?" And I was like, I cannot say for sure, but probably not, because I know the people that I'm playing with. And even though I can't remember any specific thing anyone ever said or did, we're playing a game about murdering stuff, and also I know my players. So it depends on the kid, I guess.
Is your kid cool? Would you think your kid was cool? Is your kid, what type of Red Bull does your kid drink?
How does your kid feel about vodka cranberries?
Do they take a non-alcoholic Heineken to school?
That's right. Yeah, right. You look over at the kid, and the kid's just like pounding a Heineken.
Yeah. I had this problem. My cousin on Instagram posted something about the Game of Thrones series finale, and I was like, "You're 14."
Yeah.
Like, and I know when I was 14, shenanigans abound. Maybe not abound. I'm giving myself much more credit. But certain shenanigans were occurring. So, but it's still, I don't know. There's a disconnect where I feel like you're a baby. You should not be watching men be cut in half, even if it's very good, like special
content.
It's very well done, horrific violence.
I feel like I'm finally free from some eldritch curse now that the show is over. I'm like, yes. I could pour my love into something else. Sweet release.
Yeah, I agree. It is nice when the things that you love die and you're finally free.
Yes.
It sounds like you're saying.
My Warlock Pact is over.
Actually, that's a pretty good character concept. A former Warlock who's like Overlord is expired. That's nice.
That's so interesting.
I like that. That's good. You'd have to be like a rogue or a fighter or something. Yeah.
What if they went the real switch and became a cleric?
Yeah, right. And that's the other thing is where you have to find someone else to serve, so you become like a paladin or a cleric because your demon like died or went away. Yeah, that's like some heavy transference going on there. I like that. Yeah, but you could very easily go from being like a hexblade to being a fighter and just being like, I guess this is my regular sword now.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean the same as it used to. I'm still
become like
murdering
a eldritch knight.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if the thing you have your pact to like dies or goes away, you lose all your powers.
Yeah.
So you'd have to be something else. But yeah.
There's always a chance of maybe like residual power or something like that. Because I don't think eldritch knights, do they have a pact?
I don't think so. Yeah, eldritch knights, they're like wizard fighters, basically. I think so.
Yeah, I was looking at the like warrior subclass and like picking one of them, and if I was smarter. If Torgor had a higher intelligence, that would have been the direction that they were heading in. But instead, they wanted to improve their performance as a samurai.
Fair.
I love that if we described Torgor in the fiction and then just read Torgor's character sheet, the two things would be like on opposite ends of a spectrum of character. We'd be like, yeah, Torgor's like a lute-playing Rakdos Minotaur. And people are like, oh, so a bard. And like, actually, Torgor's a samurai. So, you know what? It's fine.
Don't worry.
But that's only because it boosted his performance. Like, you see, like, there's a reason. It was either that or calligraphy, and Torgor's penmanship is trash already.
Yeah, it's hard to hold a quill in your hoof hands.
Torgor's more like the guy in the college quad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Torgor's the acoustic guitar guy. Yeah.
Wow, I've never been so slighted in my life.
You know, it's not you, it's your character.
It's true.
Let your character be the terrible person that you've always wanted to be in your
I don't know. Torgor has become like a freaking diplomat now, and
yeah. Also a career criminal.
Well,
oh, I'm sorry. Actually, his name is Vigo.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
What? He's got another name? Oh my gosh. I need like a huge list for his aliases.
Yeah, no one took notes
just
when we were
gonna,
gone tag. Sorry.
Remembering things that we forgot to tell you about last week. We're gonna be like, oh, by the way, I'm almost dead. By the way,
what's the Rakdos equivalent of Wonderwall? I have to say it's probably an acoustic cover of Raining Blood. I think is probably the thing.
Yeah, it's like a piano cover of like Let the Bodies Hit the Floor.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It depends on the individual Rakdos, I suppose. Some of them.
Nothing's wrong with me.
Listen, we are playing a game in a setting whose most recent trailer was like a sad cover of a Linkin Park song. So it's all completely.
It's a sad cover of a
acceptable.
Linkin Park song. That's what it is.
I think so. Yeah.
I remember when Linkin Park first came out, they had that one song where they keep saying like "shut up" over and over again, and I remember the first time I heard it, it was like my alarm went off and it went to like the radio started playing. Shut up when I'm talking to you. Shut up. Shut up.
Oh no.
Shut up. And I thought it was a joke song that someone made up. And I was just like, later on, I heard someone like singing that song. And I was just like, oh, you heard the joke song too? No, that's a real band. And I was like, no, they're not. And the thing about that statement is it's still true.
It's still true. Yeah. It can be both. It can be both
It's
things.
probably like a sad cover of a Fort Minor song, though.
Well, now I'm just thinking about Rakdos Weird Al. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that'd be
can
good.
we meet him? Can you make him?
I'm just making a note here. This will be one of those GM notes that I look back in a year and I'm like, why did I write down Rakdos Weird Al?
You know, but today you are all about parody songs because you were talking about Me First and the Gimme Gimmes.
We were talking about early 2000s pop punk.
Hell yeah.
So before we get started, I want to tell a quick story about an awesome thing that happened on Twitter related to Ravnica. So after the last episode, I was doing some research. I was looking around on the internet for details about Ral because I think Ral. I know for sure now. I thought at the time I was like, I think Ral has a boyfriend. What's his boyfriend's name? And so I looked it up. His name's Tomic. And in a wiki that I found, the wiki said that Ral and Tomic, because Tomic is an Orzhov advocist, which is like a fancy lawyer. And I looked it up, and in the wiki I was reading, this fan wiki, it said they have to keep their relationship secret because they are in different guilds and because Ravnica looks down on same-sex relationships. And I was like, oh, that doesn't seem right. Like, that doesn't seem like what I know about Ravnica. So I tweeted about it. And I swear to God, literally every person that works at Wizards of the Coast just like leapt onto my Twitter and was like, no, that's not true. That's not canon at all. Like, just pages of people. And I'm like, I didn't know this many people cared this much about Ral Zarek's relationship. It was very heartwarming. And nice. So yeah, we have a canon, like a tweet from one of the like main story folks at Magic being like, yeah, homophobia is not a thing in Ravnica or any Magic setting. End statement. And I was just like, that's so cool. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you for doing that. So that was really nice.
Yeah, I definitely remember like you like said the name and I was like, that's not a name Adam came up with. And I put it in Google, like what I don't know. I wasn't in the scene. So I Googled it and like came up. And I remember like reading it during the show and I was being like, this is how on earth, because Ravnica's the queerest city I've ever seen.
Right. It's like in Ravnica, we don't care.
Their straps and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It seems so out of place that I was like, oh, this doesn't seem right. And thankfully, yeah, I was right. And it's really cool seeing the team step up and be like, yeah, no, that's wrong. We're just gonna get the wiki editor to go and fix that. But in canon, that's Ral and Tomic have to keep the relationship secret because of politics, not because people are like, ew. The gays.
As it should.
That's right. Well, it is interesting because I also learned that if you look at the card art for Tomic and for Ral, the most recent depictions of them, they both are holding. So Ral, I didn't realize this before. In Ral's art, he's holding a piece of white cloth. And in Tomic's art, he has a red and blue piece of cloth, and they're pieces of each other's clothes that they gave each other to like.
Oh no, court love.
Yeah, isn't that cute?
Courtly love.
I was just because I never understood. I was like, why is Ral holding this rag in the middle of this art? Like he's doing this cool like lightning thing, and I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, because it's his boyfriend gave it to him because it's a secret.
So nice.
Oh, that's good.
I love stuff like that.
I know, it's so good. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, like I love horror and everything, but courtly romance is it's one of my favorite genres. I love it. They're like they hand like little handkerchiefs to each other. I'm like, oh no, But you can't tell anyone.
The only problem is that Tomek is probably like kind of a bad person because the Orzhov are not nice or good.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're in love, but one of them is like an evil banker.
I'm watching The Real Housewives of New York again.
Wow.
So there was a quote, and I was like, oh, so Orzhov. But it was said on Real Housewives. And it was this one woman like, honey, money speaks, wealth whispers. And I was like,
and then she turned into a bat and flew away.
it was just so
And then she
Orzhov that I
grabbed an
definitely was
orphan and started drinking.
Yeah,
the
drink
orphan's
its blood. Delicious babies. Yep. Yeah. Well, that's, I mean, characters can have nuance, and that's a thing. They're allowed. So, I want to find out what Tack has been up to. So Tack, the last time that you were with the group, prior to the beginning of the last episode and the whole stealing an ornithopter rigmarole, you were with the group. You got that note from the Rose saying you need to get your hands on Wenzel for me. You got to get Wenzel and bring him to me. And then you were called away for some kind of like Golgari related business. What was that? What were you doing while you were away? Catch us up on what Tack was up to.
I don't know. I didn't go.
Nice. Okay. So where did you go?
I had a date.
No, oh, really? With whom?
Let me scroll up and find out.
Oh my god, Tack shows up at the date and they're like, hey, good to see you. Hold on, going through my message history here. You know what, you're gonna have to send me another message. I deleted it.
Oh, it's Nerm.
With Nerm?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I took a bunch of his stuff. It was great. What a fucking sucker.
So was this I can never tell with Tack, like was this an actual attempt to connect with another person, or was this a scam, or maybe both?
Why would I do that?
Which one?
Why would I connect with another person?
Mm-hmm. So it was a scam date.
Yeah.
With the intention of what? Stealing from poor Nerm?
Yeah, what's the other reason to go?
You know what? I couldn't imagine.
Oh, and we hooked up, but I stole his stuff.
Right.
So that was great.
Okay. Good.
Is Tack Nicki Minaj? What is going on?
Tack is like a considerably less transphobic Cardi B.
Oh, it was Cardi B. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right.
So what is Tack? What is Tack like? Did they dress up for this date? Like, what is date Tack like?
Date Tack. Let's see. So Nerm was definitely an Is It League, like a scavenger, right?
Yes, but Nerm would have showed up like over compensating for the date. So normally. So for people who don't remember this brief bit character that was on the screen for a moment and then gone, Nerm is a goblin. They were found at Wenzel's place attempting to scavenge it before any of the other Izzet got to it. And when you saw them last, they were wearing the like typical kind of Izzet, the non-academic version of the Izzet outfit. So the kind of coveralls with the apron, and they're covered in grease and various
like a little mechanic.
Tools. Yeah, kind of.
Little grease monkey.
Yeah, scrapping outfit.
Like a mecha pilot.
But when you see them again, the little like tuft of black hair on their head has been like greased back. They have a like a carnation in their lapel of their like tuxedo jacket that they're wearing with no shirt underneath. And they've like polished their boots and they kind of overdress for the occasion.
That's so cute.
Well, you know, they're just if you can do it all the way, I guess.
I'm thinking like the thing with Tack is that Tack absolutely had to go back to the house because realistically anything for work with the Golgari comes through Tack's mom.
Yeah. Which
means if Tack's going to get out of it by telling her that they have a date, Tack's mom is going to dress them.
So this is an even better question. How does a high-ranking Golgari assassin elf dress their goblin child for a date.
Tack cannot let on that Tack is really just planning to rob this guy, because then their mom will be really annoyed because they skipped work to do crimes again. So I'm thinking, if she's anything like how I picture her in my mind, she probably dressed Tack in like a black pleather catsuit.
I feel like your
With,
mom,
like,
your mom probably owns a lot of those.
Oh yeah, but
Like-
it's hard to get them in goblin size.
Yeah. Like I imagine that she's like the elf equivalent of like mid-90s Michelle Pfeiffer, probably.
What a coincidence.
Pretty good.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Like that's you know, if we're
Yeah.
making a list of actors that play the characters in the show, that is
Yeah.
where my brain went.
Oh
So,
yeah, it's definitely like Batman Returns. Michelle
yeah,
Pfeiffer.
Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah. Or even Halle Berry's Catwoman, but before she gets the ugly outfit, when she has the good looking outfit with the leather jacket and like the little jeweled mask, something
Yeah.
like that. And Tack's mom probably insists on a jeweled mask. Like Tack's mom has a very like strict idea of what romance is, and it's all like 90s spy movies.
Yeah.
So it's
okay.
either a gown with a slit up to the waist, or it was a leather catsuit.
Right, and because
Tack's like,
she's Golgari, the gown would be made out of like living fungus and
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so this instead is made out of like a spider silk.
Yeah. So you're both overdressed for the occasion then.
Oh, 100%. But Tack is dressed for also sneaking out in the middle of the night and getting home. So not sure what you're going to do about this, Nerm, but I'm all right.
Okay.
Correct.
So where like do you let Nerm decide where you go? Is this like a have a meal together kind of thing and then go for drinks? Or
Yeah,
do you like go to a
well,
show or what is
I'm
what
super
kind
big
of
on
date is it?
being as drunk as possible on dates. So
Okay, so
We
maybe to try to impress you, Nerm takes you to a bar at the edge of Precinct 4 near one of the rubble belts. So it's a bar populated by a lot of gruel. And I imagine that this is also the kind of bar where like at the end of the day, the Boros who are trying to like keep the gruel in check and the gruel who are trying to destroy everything, they fight all day and then they all go to the bar together afterwards. So it's like kind of rowdy. There's probably like a not very good like country music like band or whatever the Ravnican equivalent of country music is.
it's just regular country music.
Yeah, like I'm envisioning like a minotaur in a cowboy hat and chaps and like somebody playing an accordion. And
You know what? I'm gonna run with that actually.
Okay.
And I know you said Rakdos equivalent of country music, but I'm gonna say it's the Rakdos like Old Town Road.
Yeah.
Just came out. It's on all the airwaves. Tack's actually super into it because it's really interesting to see like somebody from a position of privilege actually like helping somebody who's lesser. Like, oh, okay, yeah, no, you really used your privilege in a really good way. This is very cool.
So
Yeah,
maybe it's the music at this bar that brings the Boros and the Gruul together. That they like fight all day over their like territorial and responsibilities, but they all agree like this particular band is the jam. They're into it. Okay, cool. Yeah. So Nerm, maybe Nerm has like a cousin in one of those two guilds, and so they bring you here and like, yeah, my cousin told me about this place. It's great. You're gonna love it. And they take you there, and you're both very overdressed because everybody here is covered in like dust and blood.
Hell yeah.
And punches. But I mean, you know. Well, okay. So your plan is to like drink Nerm under the table and then rob them, or
No, we gotta be sober when we hook up, so I'm all about that consent, baby.
right? Except when it comes to murdering someone, but the other stuff.
Murder implies no consent just automatically. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know what you want from me.
Tack's got a curious ethical compass. Like, listen, I don't think that it's right for us to be drunk if we're gonna hook up. But if I decide to kill you, you get no say in that.
That's what murder is. No say.
Mm-hmm,
Back me up here.
I like it. I can't wait until TAC releases their book about this. Okay. All right. So let's see how it goes. Let's have you roll.
Oh no.
I think to have a successful date, it's not so much about actively pursuing a result as it is trying to weather the many awkward things that happen during a first date. This is really more of a saving throw situation than a skill check, I think. At least that's
the
my
jokes
experience
that I've made about doing a dating sim in D&D, I have never actually rolled for one, and I am incredibly excited.
If you lose, you are in love.
No!
Yeah.
Oh, the highest stakes.
Jace Beleren Must Die, lose and you're in love.
You finally trap Jace Beleren in the alleyway, and he turns around, and you gaze into his deep blue eyes.
Starring Catherine Heigl.
Save versus making a bad romantic decision.
And feelings, I love it.
Jace, I can feel you.
No, didn't you say last time, Carlos, that you imagine Jace as being played by Tony Danza?
I cannot.
All right, make that charisma saving throw. Let's say the DC for this date going badly. We'll just put it at a 12. It's a fairly low stakes.
I got a -2 in my charisma, so
some people are just better than others at dating, so it's fine.
Ooh, that's a 6.
All right, so I'm gonna make a save for Nerm here.
No, TAC caught feelings on the date.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, you can interpret that failure. The date goes badly, meaning that whatever your intention for the date was, it doesn't go that way. So I'm not gonna tell you that your character is in love with Nerm. You could do that if you want, or you could tell me another way that it goes wrong. Let's see how it goes for Nerm here.
Hold me closer, Tony Danza. Oh my gosh, chat is on it today.
Okay. I'm your Tony Danza, your Danza for money. So it goes great for Nerm. Nerm has an awesome time. Good. So that's I'm really sorry I almost killed you.
It's okay. It's cranberry juice, so it's worse.
Well, you're halfway there. Okay, so the date goes great. Nerm has a fantastic time. Nerm really enjoys himself. Why for TAC is it not great? What happens that makes the date go bad?
There's a lot about Nerm that's like extremely just fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Just the worst person to be around.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the way he looks. I hate the way he smells. I hate the way he acts. He holds his drink with only the pinky and thumb.
Mm-hmm. That's weird.
I don't know
I'm sorry, not to cut you off. I totally picture this is being said while she's making out with him.
100%.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They're smooching it up, and you're like, you're the worst. Everything about you, I hate it.
Everything about this is the worst.
And of course, because Nerm is a member of the Is It League, this just feels like a dressing down from a superior, so they're just pretty into it.
I think TAC really tried to humiliate Nerm and make Nerm feel fucking terrible about this date, but Nerm is also into it.
Yeah.
So it's it's very hard to threaten to murder somebody and then agree to go on a date with them and make them genuinely believe that you hate them.
Yeah, it turns out that Nerm is just really into feeling confused and being talked down to. So good.
And TAC has never felt powerful around another person before in that way. And it's
oh, you really like me for who I am.
Oh.
I hate this.
This show is so wild.
I hope they stay together forever.
do now.
Good.
I'm kind of
so do you, I guess
Nerm
back?
So
term?
I guess this is the question, right? At the there is
short term. That's what it's called.
The moment the moment arrives when you are in a position to rob Nerm. Nerm is curled up in their I was gonna say their bed, but it's really just like some pillows that are piled up in a corner of their very crammed apartment full of random junk. But look at all this random junk for you to steal. They have given you the trust of being asleep in your presence in their home. Do you rob them? What happens in that moment?
Yeah, I absolutely rob them. I'm neutral evil.
Yeah.
I take shit from people I like all the time.
All right, I'm gonna roll to see if Nerm likes or
God.
doesn't like that. Like, I'm not sure how
He left a note. He
Yeah.
left a note under his like most precious things that say like "I love you too, honey." like expecting it.
I cannot believe I've like failed into a long-term relationship.
Yeah, you did it. I mean,
I mean, that's how it happens, right? No.
No.
All right, so I
Yes.
will make a note about how Nerm felt about that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. Tack's gonna take something. But Tack is like also gonna leave their number again. Like just in case. I was like,
Oh, do you tell Nerm that that they can find you at the Host in the Shell? Because that's really your only permanent address, right? Because we don't actually have phones in this universe.
yeah. Now I think about it. I think Tack will take it, but then also leave a note that they are holding it hostage and he has to come get it.
Okay. What is it? What do you
I
steal?
don't know what you got.
I mean, imagine
What does he have that can kill a man?
lots of things.
Oh my gosh, I want to take a thing.
Okay, yeah, sure. That sounds good. You take a fairly lethal looking thing? Are you looking for like
I want a pew pew.
yeah, something that shoots things?
Yeah, I want a pew pew.
Okay. All right. You have no idea how it works, but you're
Yeah.
pretty sure it can be used to kill someone.
That's okay. There's a nerd that hangs out with us that'll probably tell me.
Perfect.
Me.
Torgor.
Okay, so I'll make a note.
I feel like someone's talking about me.
Good deflection, Winnegar. Nice. Yeah, definitely talking about Torgor. Okay, some kind of like, is it explosive weapon
Yeah, it's a pew
device?
pew. It's a pew pew. It goes shoo shoo.
Sort of sounded like a lightsaber.
I want to shoot something
God.
with it too when I get out of the house.
All right. Cool. Okay, so you spent that day while your friends were stealing an ornithopter. You were stealing hearts and is it weapons? And as we see you at night skulking out of the apartment that Nerm keeps and back out into the rainy streets of Ravnica. We crossfade to a secluded alleyway, wherein the Simic Hybrid Monk Road stands, holding a piece of paper upon which the rain is dripping, blurring the words "behind you." Road, when you read those words, obviously the soundtrack gets all spooky. We get some violin stabs in there. What do you do? Do you spin around or what happens?
No, definitely hand on dagger, slow turn, like a really strong like bracing rather than like a sheer terror. I
Mhm.
think that Road is actually not very jumpy in times. She's just very like
Yeah, well, and I mean the thing is too, like you're a monk, which by definition means that you have like fairly fine control of the operations of your form, right? Like your body is a weapon and you are in control of it, so it's very difficult for you to be like physically startled in that way. So
I think Road thinks that like 80% of the time.
Yeah.
But then 20%. It's wild. But yeah, it's definitely like a very slow, like also like I don't want to jump, so they jump, whoever it is.
Mhm.
It's very like paced, like, okay,
Yeah.
let's negotiate my way out of this.
All right, so
Sure.
you turn slowly around, and you see a familiar figure. We last saw this woman interrogating Wenzel in an Azorius prison, but we've also seen them out of their uniform, skulking about the alleyways of Ravnica. So you see that woman that has been eluding you, the one that you think is a Dimir agent. and as you turn around, you see that she's finishing the casting of a spell. Her hands are trailing blue mana. Her eyes are glowing with that same color, and she's whispering in an arcane language. And if there's something you want to do, I want to give you the opportunity. If you want to lunge at her before she finishes her spell, or whatever, you can. We could roll initiative, or you can let her finish. And
honestly, Road is incredibly terrified of the mirror mind magic stuff. There's like an innate part of her that she just thinks it's the spookiest shit. It's the reason why she was so scared of the Thopters, like things that can just like change your mind without your permission. Road cannot work her way around. So I don't think she'd really have what it takes to get something off before she could finish the spell.
Okay. All right. So I will need you to make a saving throw then. Let me take a quick look here. I think it is DC 13. Let's see what kind it is. I think it's Wisdom save.
Please have it be Wisdom.
It is. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay,
It is a Wisdom save. So it's not one of your.
Oh my god! I critically failed. What is it?
It's good. You rolled a 1 on your Wisdom save there. So that's good. Fantastic. So let me describe to you then, as you turn around, you see someone that you quote regard as a friendly acquaintance. This person means you no harm. You have no reason to feel threatened, and in fact, you feel all sense of tension just simply wash away as you turn and see this person. Whatever spell she was casting, you know that it couldn't possibly be intended to harm you or anyone that you care about. So you see your friend, who must have just been playing a prank on you. What do you do?
She'd probably just like, hey, I didn't see you there. It's probably like still confused because it's probably like, how did you?
Yeah. So she smiles and she says, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. It's nice to see you again, Road."
Yeah, no, it's nice. What brings you out in the rain?
I wanted to talk to you. We have a mutual acquaintance I'd like to discuss. Do you have a moment?
Oh, for sure. Let me just finish this, and then we'll be good. We can go.
Yeah. So I think she puts her hand like on your wrist when you go to turn, and she says, "Oh, don't worry about that. We can take care of it later. Come with me." And she gestures, and we see like a clearly ominous like dark alley. She has this second location she'd like you to come to with her.
How dare you? Yeah, Road goes to the second location for the first time in her life. She agrees to go to a second location.
At what point do Torgor and Wenzel notice that Road has been gone for a while?
Wenzel.
Torgor and Winnegar. I think it'll be a minute yet. But I'll let you know.
Let's be honest. Like, Road disappearing during packing is like absolutely so expected.
Yeah. Road going away and brooding on her own is pretty normal. But yeah, I think there would be a moment where Torgor, like, if you would become suspicious, that's reasonable.
Well, I mean, Winnegar and I are clearly talking about this Thopter and life, and a lot of others just sort of like best friend conversations. Now, especially because Road's not there, so it's just like it's bro time. So I feel honestly it would probably be like half an hour before they're like, Road is still not bad. The drop is just like 10 minutes away. So like that's
that's taking a little while. I mean, all our flower talk really got away from us, huh?
No. I mean, and Torgor wants to point out that flower talk is important, especially noting the difference between a tulip and a sunflower. You know,
Yeah.
obviously. But
they're very different.
They should have
Very
different names for flowers when they're like bloom, when they're not bloomed, and when they have bloomed. I mean, I feel like this is stuff I should have learned at a very early age, and now I'm just learning now.
Hey, Winter Torgor doesn't know either. So it's not just assumed knowledge. No, all knowledge is ignorance at one point.
Oh, Torgor, you say the smartest thing sometimes.
Honestly, they're just lyrics that just come out of my mouth.
Is this the episode where just everybody falls in love with everybody else? Is that what happens? Like,
wait, where Road has been gone for a while.
Road has been gone for a while.
Ominous piano chord.
Yeah. We should go check.
Let's take a look around.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're gonna
What's his face with the thopter?
gonna take a look. Oh, you can trust Rourke.
Yeah, I trust him.
He's a good guy.
Mhm.
So
He's intimidated by me. It's fine.
So yeah, you're gonna go and kind of take a look around for Road. Meanwhile, Road, you are we cut back to you, and this person has led you inside out of the rain. You're in a like a cellar, maybe. There are some candles burning on a table in the middle of this like old wine cellar, and you're sitting down at the table with this person, and she says, "So, Road, your interest in this Wenzel Ironclad, what is it? Why are you and your friends looking for him?"
It's just part of the job right now, mostly.
The job? Someone has sent you to speak with him, to retrieve him? We saw you go in and talk to him, your Minotaur friend and the Vidalkin. Why?
Yeah, we are just kind of just doing a job together. We're just kind of
But you are Simic and they are Rakdos, and is it? Why are you working together?
You don't know?
Enlighten me.
I thought you would have known. You just kind of seemed like the all-knowing type, sort of like you're in on a conspiracy, I'm in on a conspiracy, like everyone's sort of conspirating together.
And she raises an eyebrow and she says, "Conspiracy is a very strong word. I'm merely looking out for my guild. We have reasons to get our hands on this ironclad. He knows things we need to know. Why do you need him? What interest did the Simic or the Rakdos or the Izzet have with him?"
I'm confused. What guild is your guild?
And she just gives you a grin, and she says, "I belong to the Senate, of course."
Oh. Wait, so okay, so Road had a completely different conception. She never thought otherwise. She just like fully assumed that the person across from her was Demir. So like
right,
hearing this, she's
I mean, you're doing this thing where like nobody is saying anything, and there's all these like double talk happening where it's like, but really? But then do you mean that? Are you being sarcastic? I can't tell. What the fuck is going on? But yeah, I mean, this person is your friend. They've no reason to lie to you.
yeah. So Road goes, oh, it's got like nothing to do with the guild. It's not like a single thing. It's sort of a inter-guild
Conspiracy.
Yeah, I keep coming back to that word. It feels like the best word.
She nods. Like you're basically like talking to a cop, and you're like, "Listen, it's part of a larger conspiracy that involves all the guilds." So she says, "To what end? Why? Why are you and these others working together?"
It's just, some people think that, maybe the Guildpact is not what it should be right now. I'm sure that you would agree with that statement to a certain extent. Most people do.
But Road, the Guildpact is what keeps law and order possible in Ravnica. Without it,
Yeah,
there
but
would be chaos. Torgar, fuck yeah, chaos.
Oh, your guild's version of Law and Order or your guild's version of Law and Order?
There is only one. This city is on the edge of disaster. We are merely trying to keep it from going over.
I mean, I hate to say this. I hate to sort of throw this accusation around, but you tried to kill one of your. If you were so like dedicated to law, in order, like I think that we're not on the same page, you know, because you tried to kill someone. We were also in the tunnels. You ever think that like maybe there's a point where we meet up and we're like, yeah.
She squints at you, and you can see there's like a slight throbbing in her temples. Like she's like this close to slapping you. You've made her angry, and she says, "All I want to know is why you want Ironclad. For who? Who sent you? Why? Wenzel Ironclad is nothing."
It's just like a whole can of worms to be you.
Like a whole can of worms. When does that ever work when you're being intimidated?
Yeah, you know it's a whole thing. You don't know. You don't want to hear about it.
Oh, it's a whole can of worms. Don't go into it.
Yeah, you know what? I've only got 10 minutes to interrogate you right now, so you know what? It's fine.
Well, it's hard because like if it's an acquaintance, Rhode's kind of like being part of conspiracy. She's used to treating like acquaintances with niceness and also not giving away any part of the conspiracy.
I mean, she lies to her own sister, so
yeah, lying is almost a really regular part of her, and so it's how easily that's stripped away by whatever spell this is murky for me.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like it's not mind control. It is mind control, but it's not like you have to do specific stuff. So I think what happens then is you continue to equivocate. And
I feel
so
like I'm a politician in an interview. Well, it's kind of
Spin, baby, spin.
it's perfect since you're up against an Azorius.
Yeah. A totally for real police officer. Well, okay, so the first spell she casts on you isn't concentration, so she's gonna use another one on you. So she says, she's like, fine, if that's how you want it to be, very well. And you notice that she's playing with a coin, and maybe she has been the whole time, or maybe it just appeared there, but you just notice she's like rolling a coin around a copper zib like in her fingers. And when you notice it at first you're like, oh, that's funny, and then you kind of like start to feel like a little woozy, and like the room gets sort of blurry. And I think I need you to make another saving throw. Yeah, can you make another wisdom saving throw?
Well, I can't do worse than I did last time.
You can do as bad though.
Yeah.
Ah, nice. So you resist the mental probing of her magic. And so that feeling, that kind of hazy feeling, you snap out of it. And she notices.
Does that affect the last spell that?
It does not. No.
Okay.
It's she's still your friend. She was doing something that you didn't understand, and she's still like your buddy. But she stands up, like frustrated that you're being so reticent. And when she does, she like takes a half step towards you, and she says, listen to me. You and your friends are meddling with forces you don't understand. The Senate has reasons to think that this Ironclad can be of use to us. Abandon your foolish pursuit. You will not get your hands on him. Stay away from him and his brother. This conspiracy of yours, it's only going to undermine greater works. Do you understand
I'm
me?
a little light. I'm kind of confused. You tried to kill one of the Ironclads. It was my friend dressed up in magic, but you did try to kill one of the Ironclads.
She nods and she says, sometimes blood has to be spilt to keep the law in place. Stay out of it. Do you understand me?
Well, what if so there's an aspect of getting into it that I'm going to have to do no matter what. So I feel like if you were upfront with me, I would be able to help you in turn.
Yeah,
What
make a persuade check.
is 10?
Okay. All right. So she's rolling over the idea in her head, like how much she has to tell you to get you to tell her what the hell is actually going on. And also thinking like we could probably just mind wipe her later. Because that might be a thing. She has the capacity. So she says to you, listen to me. You have two choices. You can tell me everything that you know about this conspiracy. You can tell me who sent you and why you're going after the Ironclads, and I can let you go. And none of this has to trouble you anymore. You can go back to your Zonot and your experiments. Your friends will be safe. Or you can continue to resist me, and I will take you back to New Prav, and you can join Ironclad in a cell. Which will it be?
Yeah, I'd love to meet him then.
She shakes her head like, why you gotta do it the hard way? And and so she with a flourish, she like pushes her cloak aside and grabs a pair of handcuffs and moves to put them on you.
Okay, that's past acquaintanceship.
I feel yes.
We're past-
I mean, it depends on how friendly you are with people, but yes, for this particular person,
yes,
I think
different way that she grabbed the handcuffs, we would be talking a different story.
So I think yeah, the thing is, the spell ends if you or your companion do anything harmful to it, and I think incarcerating you I would consider that harmful. So maybe this person isn't your friend after all.
Right.
She is moving towards you with these iron manacles, getting ready to like lock you up and take you away to New Prav, which is not a good place to go.
Cool. I cast darkness.
Nice.
I look at where the door is. In my last moments of like, okay, that's where I have to get out. I'm probably, since she was woozy, she doesn't like remember how she got in very well.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna make a run for it. She's definitely gonna cast some darkness.
Okay,
right
so
now.
let's make an initiative roll. Roll your initiative. And I will do the same, and we'll see just whoever.
I got a 22.
You got a 22.
Nice.
I only got a 20.
Oh my god!
You're super fast. So you see her reach for the manacles. You make that your mind goes to that place where you're like, okay, wait a second, friend, not friend. Okay, you cast darkness. Now, can you see in your own? Because I know some things allow they allow you to see in your own darkness, or is it just like
almost
for you
certain I cannot.
Okay.
Don't you have dark vision though?
Yeah, darkness is like
that's
magic,
not magic.
inky blackness.
I see.
Let me see. Yeah, because I know like shadow sorcerers, for example, can see in their own.
Yeah, I wish I had that like Arya Stark like turn off the lights because I know how. But
Yeah. A 15-foot radius sphere, which is the whole room. Non-magical light can't illuminate it, can't see in the darkness. But you did say you want to like make a note of like where the exit is. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say you drop the darkness. There's a brief like curse, right? She's like, God damn it! Like what? Why does it? This was supposed to be easy. And you're gonna run for it. Yeah. You will need to evade her. And she's gonna try and grab you. So let's have an opposed. You can use acrobatics or athletics.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give her disadvantage on the roll.
Okay.
Whichever
20.
you prefer.
I got a natural 20, 25.
25.
Yeah.
Look at you. Damn. Okay. All right. So she lunges for you. She gets a 19, which is great, but it's not a 25.
When she gets close to me, can I say, "Call me when you want to work together," and then make?
Damn. Yeah, and it's like pitch black too. So she lunges for you. And she probably only manages to like brush like a tendril as you just fly past her, graceful as can be, and run out into the street.
I also like to think that that's the same thing Tech says in the middle of the night. When you want to work together, pitch black, and then runs out.
I told you to stay out of my live journal.
Who wanted breakfast? Not tack.
Wait, is it cake?
The biggest error.
Nah,
Wait.
see, it's the Is It League, so I think it's probably some kind of like combination protein shake energy drink thing.
It's Soylent. Just say it's Soylent.
Like the Is It League of everybody would be the one to invent Soylent, to be like, why have 3 meals when you can have one and then not eat for the rest of the week
Yeah,
and then
it's
never
way
and not
more
sleep for
efficient
6
for me.
days?
It's really disgusting.
So you rush outside, right? You like Road, you leap over the table in pitch darkness, burst out of the sphere of shadow, which I think is like kind of smoky, like it like grabs at you as you leave. These like tendrils of smoky darkness, and you bust out into an alley. And where do you go? Do you run back to your friends? Because she's gonna come after you. She's gonna turn around and chase you.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're in a chase scene. Oh no. Okay. And I spent my key points. These are. Oh wait, I can do another spell because I leveled up. Oh, thank God. What a convenient level up. I have. I can spend 1 key to dash, so I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Just so I can get some speed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you just like burst out of the alley, which is you cast a glance back. You can hear her. You can't see her, obviously. Like a floating octopus. If this were a practical effect, it would absolutely be like ink in water and then transposed over the shot for sure. And monks are super fast. So you just burst out into the alley and then supernatural speed just take off. Now are you relying on your speed to get you away from them, or are you you're taking a more difficult like route? Like what's your vector for escape here? Pure speed or something else?
Road's gonna want to take a difficult route because she knows that if like watching like a cop chase someone else, Road's not gonna look that favorably at all in this. This sentiment.
So I mean, it sort of depends on the precinct you're in, right? Like in
pretty sure
precinct 4, if somebody sees an Azorius chasing someone, they're gonna try to trip the cop and be like, "Oops, sorry, officer." But in precinct 2, you'll just immediately have all of the Azorius pile on you right away. So I think you're somewhere between precinct 1 and 4. So it's kind of neutral territory. It's also quite late at night. So there's not a lot of people around, and the omnipresent cloud of drones just isn't here. So you're pretty good. But if you want to try to lose her rather than just like run at full speed, then that's
no. Road's goal is to get back to where Torgor and Winnegar are.
Right. So you're heading into precinct 1 because I think what's his face's apartment is like somewhere up in this area. So
her main reasoning is like, oh, you can't do mind magic on 3 people at once.
Right. Yeah.
Because she's super concerned with like keeping her mind, and she knows that she'd probably be less happy to engage in a 3v1 fight.
Okay. Yeah, totally.
Reuniting with her friends is probably her goal right now.
Okay. So let's just have you make one more roll. It can be try to put some distance between acrobatics or athletics is fine.
Okay.
And if you win, you get away. And if I win, she has one more chance to like grab you.
Okay.
Number to beat, I got a 17.
I.
Okay.
You got this.
I got a 20.
Oh, killing it today. All right. So
well done.
we see, Road, you're just too fast. So she chases after you. We see her give up. Right? She stops, like breathing hard, like looks kind of angry, brushes some hair out of her face and pulls her hood up. And we see her reach into her sleeve and pull out a tiny little like piece of paper, and she taps on it and it folds itself like origami into a little bird shape. And she reaches up to her temple and pulls one of those like memory strings that we saw before, pulls it out and touches it to the bird. The bird glows briefly, and she hucks it up into the air where it flutters away. And then she scowls in your direction and turns around and storms off. So Torgor, you and Winnegar go out into the rain to look for Road, and I think you get as far as the drop point, and you see that there is a brick that has been pulled out of the wall and is sitting on the ground, just lying in a puddle. And there's a piece of waterlogged paper lying on the ground nearby. But no sign of Road. No sign of the message that Road intended to leave.
Can we read the waterlogged piece of paper? Is it legible?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Torgor is not perceptive. I'm just putting that out there. But we will attempt. -2. Here's how we do.
Oh, wow.
Hey,
You got 15. That's pretty good. And if Winnegar is there helping you, right, you can have advantage. So that's an 18. That's the best you could possibly do.
Been a 20, but the -2.
Yeah, it's still a nat 20. The die still comes up 20. So yeah, okay, cool. So you can make out the words. The two of you are sort of standing shoulder to shoulder. You're holding this piece of paper, and you squint at it in the relative darkness, and you can make out the words, blurry though they might be, the ominous statement behind you.
We both look.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say, do you turn around?
Oh no!
So you do. Here's the thing: you turn around. You see in the shadows nearby an ominous figure. They're about like 3.5, maybe 4 feet tall, wearing a black kind of like a, I don't want to say sequined, but a black like kind of like glistening like skin tight outfit. And they're standing in the shadows across the street watching you.
Oh,
and we can see them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Torgor pulls his rapier out with one hand, and the maul chokes it up with the other. So it's like just like holding on to both. Like this is my alley.
Winnegar kind of ducks behind Torgor and like pokes his head out like behind, and I'm gonna pick up the brick.
Okay. Tack, what do you do?
First of all, they're rhinestones. Not
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
And they're 100% rhinestones. In fact, I think that Nerm and Tack got drunk enough that they got like rhinestone cowboy like designs put on their clothes. Like whenever you're out on a date and you're like, let's get airbrushed t-shirts.
Yeah, that happens.
Just like that. It's not cute.
Like Disco Stew's denim jacket with his Tack on the back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Tack is like trying, like it seems ominous, but in fact, Tack is like trying to worm their way out of this black cat suit and into their old outfit without like actually being naked in the street. It's really sad, but I guess it's scary. It's just kind of like flailing arms and a few like trying to hold a dagger in their teeth.
I like to think that Tack's jacket, rhinestone jacket says Tack on it, and Nerm says tax. Like, on the back.
Oh god, Nerm starts calling himself the tax man.
No, Tack probably like lied to the rhinestone person to like be mean, and it's like, oh yeah, his name is Worm, and so it says Worm on the back, and Nerm is like, that's the nicest thing that Tom has ever called me.
Call me Norm.
Just like, I can't fucking believe this.
So yeah, Tack, you see your friends skulking around in the alley. They're looking at this piece of paper, and they turn around. And they haven't seen you. They see you, but they don't recognize you yet because you're.
Are they doing crimes?
I mean, it looks like they're acting suspicious, but.
Oh, I don't want anyone to do crimes without me. I run at them.
Okay, it's dark. The shadowy figure lunges towards you, Torgor. If you'd like, you can make one more perception check at disadvantage to see if you recognize Tack before everything goes briefly.
It's a little shadowy figure with a dagger in their mouth lunging for you.
Mm-hmm.
Can I? What would Torgor do if they saw a tiny? Honestly, they would two-hand attack at them. Yeah. So I'm gonna make a 2 attacks.
Realistically, I deserve this. So.
Okay, all right. So you in your enthusiasm, Tack, and all fired up with that weird date energy, you rush at your friends, excited that they might be doing a crime, and then Torgor tries to pummel you. What's your armor class, Tack?
I'm the one who has crimes done against them. 14.
The tables have
And then we
turned.
call that a twist.
All right, Torgor, go ahead and make that attack.
Go
no.
go ahead and kill your friend.
All right, Tack, you run into the business end of a rapier. How much damage does Tack take? Nine damage.
What a twist!
And then you have your maul in the other hand.
Oh yes.
Okay.
I gotta roll for that.
And it's basically a club when you're like choked up, so you can use it one handed.
Got it.
But that one's a miss. Okay,
Yeah.
so you just flail at this enemy, and yeah, Tack, you take 9 damage. What do? Torgor stabs you.
Do I see them on my sword?
I think when right after you connect, there's that like, oh wait a second, I know this person.
I'm gonna stab his arm.
Tack just goes all in like, all right, go ahead, Tack, make it an attack of your own.
Oh,
You miss. You flail at Torgor's arm.
In my defense, I'm skewered.
there's
so.
a rapier between us. Your arms.
yeah.
Mhm.
I do it. Yeah, what the fuck?
Oh, Vinegar, it's Tech.
Oh, hey,
Tech.
hey, Dak, what are you doing on the end of Torgor's rapier?
You gotta say hello before you run at me. You know.
Well, you're the one who's doing crimes without me.
You
What are you leaving such weirdo notes?
One second. I like put my foot on Tack and like kick them off my.
Fair. Tack does like a little action roll to the back and then kip ups onto the legs.
And then like does like a little stabby, but she's like, next time though.
Oh, next time for sure.
They're also still like only partially dressed in their catsuit, and they just keep
Torgor's
like
"Is
trying to
that
wiggle out.
rhinestone? Are you wearing rhinestone right now?
Do you want it?
Tech, it won't fit Torgor. I
Not
don't.
with that attitude.
No.
Yeah, it might make for a nice glove, Torgor, but that's like about the best you're gonna get.
It's like a baby onesie.
Pretty much, yeah. You could put it on a stuffed animal.
I'm not gonna yuck your yum. I don't know what you're into. It's fine.
Well, Torgor's happy you're here. We missed you. Well, not really. We got a lot done without you
What the
last.
fuck?
I just we got a copter. We got all these things.
Okay,
but-
well, I got a gun, so
Oh,
Want to
Wait, you
see?
gotta.
what is a gun?
I'm gonna pull it out.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
I'm gonna
yeah,
aim it. I'm gonna aim
Vinegar,
it at
you see Tack take out some kind of dangerous looking device with tubes and meters and a burnt business end.
yeah, I did it.
I wonder.
Okay, we got a lot to unpack here, but right now, let's focus on first things first.
Will this
Roll-
kill someone?
Maybe.
Yes, Tack. It'll definitely kill someone. Road is missing, and all we have is this look behind you paper and an alley apple.
Oh,
I don't know what to think about any of this.
Mm-hmm.
did Road leave the note?
Yeah, sure, here.
I don't know. It doesn't look like Road's handwriting with my nat 20.
Isn't Road,
That's fair. That's
isn't
fair.
Road always missing though?
No, but Road always says, and honestly, Road would never go to a second location without telling us.
Yeah, also,
Didn't we
Road-
find her in some sewers or something?
Yeah, but Tech, you set the building on fire.
How is that my fault?
No, Torgor doesn't care about.
She could have
blame.
stayed in the building.
Yes. Okay.
Maybe somebody set the alley on fire.
And even as they're saying that, they're like looking around like, this is stupid. Why did I say that out loud? Oh, I have an 8 wisdom.
Somebody else did it. Don't worry about it.
Okay, not here.
You know what's sad is I have a 6 wisdom, so I would believe you.
So they're both looking around in spite of knowing how dumb it is.
I just don't think Road would leave us when she just like called for the Rose to come find us. Like something obviously happened.
So how long's she been missing?
At least one full game's worth.
Yeah, but it's been about like a hour and 10 minutes, Garrett.
Wow, you took an hour and 10 minutes to come look for her.
Hey,
Well, maybe.
Whittaker
Well,
and
that's what
I-
it.
Yeah. You know, we got caught up. There was a lot to discuss. Got some new sick lyrics out of it.
Oh yeah.
if you'd like, you can like examine the scene a little more closely and try to pick up some clues.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Somebody can investigate. Yeah,
I'd love to investigate. Let me look and see if I have anything. I sure don't.
I will aid your investigation.
Okay.
Thank you. I got a 12.
12. Okay. I will tell you this. Road. Like, I think the thing is, it's raining and
Yeah, it's raining.
Like, you don't need an investigation check for that, but yeah.
I don't know. Dax got a 12 intelligence.
Okay, good. So, it's raining, which makes this more difficult. There aren't really clear tracks here. There is an area where the wall has like an overhang where you do see like two distinct sets of tracks, both kind of similar, but you can't see where they came from or where they went. You just get like different footprints in this little area under the overhang where the rain hasn't washed them away.
One of them
Do they look like petite, possibly attractive humanoid ladies left them?
With a 12, hard to say. They're definitely not Minotaur footprints. They could be humans or elves or whatever. But
God, who even knows?
Yeah.
I found some footprints. They're right here.
We should follow them. Let's go before
These
the
could
rain
be-
washes them.
Oh my God, these could be anything.
They could, but it's the only thing we have to go on right now.
That's
With a
true.
12.
I'm not really doing anything else.
I'm not really doing anything else right now. I guess we
So
might
I
as well
guess-
go see what happened to our friend.
This entire game, we should just reference the number in the game.
It's so good. Like yep.
kind of wanted to shoot some trash cans, but this is just as good. I could shoot a real person.
Well, okay, we'll talk about it when they get there.
Or we shoot first. Ha-ha! I'm gonna go. I'm gonna move faster than you.
So you're gonna go and try and track down.
Yeah, I gotta find someone to shoot.
Okay, make a. I think tracking is survival. Make a survival check.
Oh Jesus.
But do it with
I'm proficient.
disadvantage. If someone helps you, you can do it just regular.
I got you.
Okay,
Thank you.
Torgor's giving you the assist. Ah, damn, I got a
I
20.
did it.
Nice, got a 20. So, okay, yeah, you find a set of footprints. They're fairly limited, but you're catching them as they're dissolving in the rain. You got on it fast, and they definitely head to a second location. You gonna follow?
Are we talking about flowers the whole way?
Maybe.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, flowers.
I mean, yeah,
I feel like Tack knows a lot about flowers.
I was gonna say, like, Winnegar, do you tell Tack all the new things you've learned about the difference between sunflowers and tulips and what have you?
I would just kind of say it like just out loud, like, oh, maybe not directly to Tack, but like maybe me and Torgor and I are having a conversation that obviously Tack can be a part of at the same time. You're like, yeah, it's like you would think beautiful flowers all put together makes a lot of sense. Like it would be more beautiful the more flowers you add, but actually adding lesser flowers brings out the beautifulness of the big ones. You know what I mean?
Torgor totally understands. It's not always about the sum of the parts. You know, truly, when the Rakdos Circus, there are moments where there's only one dragon sitting in the center of the ring, versus when we have 14 fire jugglers. Kind of, you know, the diversity between the two make more of an entertaining experience for those who are alive to see it.
So how do you feel about baby's breath, Tack?
This actually, I thought maybe I wanted to be part of this conversation, but now I'm just like wondering why on earth you would ever mix baby's breath with sunflowers, since sunflowers are such an informal flower. So
Oh,
you're,
Tack,
throwing
add
this-
a little chaos to your life. Jeez.
Okay, yeah, but you're gonna send a mixed message. Do you really want that to get muddled? You don't want to fuck this up on the first date, man.
Five minutes
Not
later,
that anyone's
5 minutes
going on a
later,
date. Oh, where are we
we're
going?
just
What are we doing?
yelling at
You
each
just
other.
screaming at each other in the rain. You completely like lost.
That's how Road finds us.
Yeah, I think that's completely.
about flowers.
I think that's completely reasonable that you've stopped in the middle of the street and are yelling at each other. There's up above, there's an ogre who has opened the windows of his apartment to yell at you about like you think it's like, shut up, I'm trying to sleep, but instead he's like, no, moron, red roses for love, yellow roses friendship. Everyone knows this. And so now you're all arguing, and
You shouldn't waste roses on it anyway. The soil's not good enough. It's too acidic for roses.
And who made the decision about red being love and yellow being friendship?
There's different levels of relationships.
so Road,
Pack is
after
like aiming a gun at the second store to
I will murder you.
I swear to God.
So it escalates way out of control. There's this shouting match. There's murderous threats. Road, you are like a street over, and you hear shouting. You hear like an ogre bellowing. You hear some familiar shrillness as you make your escape. You can hear this cacophony.
As there's like a very strong hit of like, oh thank goodness, oh wow, and then there's like a very quick anger of these fucking idiots are yelling in the streets when we're being followed, and so like what was previously like I'm gonna be so happy to see them again is now like oh my god. And so there's a lot of like stomping to where they are. A lot of angry stomping as she hears their yelling to a nice man.
More like a moron.
So Road, you come around the corner and you see this scene of them yelling both at each other, and this ogre in his pajamas. He's got the little like nightcap and the striped like shirt on, and he's leaning out the window and he's yelling about like
Edible arrangements aren't bouquets.
Once again, why does it matter what is and isn't a bouquet?
I don't know, but 17 Zim is way too much for chocolates covered strawberries, especially.
Torgor definitely agrees.
I agree with that.
That's absurd. Except for when they take the white chocolate and they make the little tuxedos
So you
on
see
it.
this, Road. None of them notice you.
Hey.
Give us 1 second, Ro.
One second.
Ro, give us 1 second, please.
And then I was like, Road! Oh!
Road.
Where'd you go, Road? What road did you take? Torgor is really happy because it's the first time this joke. It is like out of the months of being together, this is the first time they have made this joke.
Road has a flashback of all that time, all the times that joke was made at her in middle school, and she's just like an even darker chill in her bones.
Yeah, you get the little anime like water droplet.
It's just like the little Miyazaki shiver up the spine.
Yeah,
It's just like
the frisson of rage.
Like,
We've been made. We need
Oh.
to go.
Well, okay, yeah, let's go.
okay, go where?
And that's the part that Road actually doesn't know, because if they're all being followed, then oh god, there's no way. Road's are like, we're being
Hey.
followed.
Want to see what
Right.
I can do?
Okay.
I have a great idea.
Yeah.
I shoot my gun.
Just into the air.
What?
Cool.
I forgot to shoot it this whole time.
Okay.
I want to shoot it.
Good. Perfect. All right. Yeah. So you have this device, and you can kind of figure like there's a handle and like another handle, and you pull the trigger, and yeah, it fires a burst, an arc of flame into the air.
Was it amazing?
I mean, that's up to you.
Like a flamethrower or like a fireball, like a firebolt type?
No, it's not a consistent, not like a consistent spray of fire, but the end of it is a kind of flattened, like one of those like those flat vacuum attachments. So it's got kind of like a long, like arc shaped thing on the end. When you fire it, it shoots a fan of fire, a brief like burst of
I
flame.
want to pretend that this looks like a little Ravnica Tommy gun.
Yeah, sure, that works. Made out of brass, and it's got some like light bulb screwed into the side of it or whatever, because it's made by the Izzet. But yeah, it shoots
It's the greatest moment of my life.
it shoots an arc of flame into the air, and then yeah. So for a moment, the street is as bright as day. There's a hissing in the air as the fire evaporates the rain, and then it fades and your eyes.
Can
kind
my
of
companion see anything in this
Yeah,
gout of
right.
fire that I just released?
I think there's a brief burst of flame in everybody's eyes. You get that pain in your eyes when you're looking at a bright light source all of a sudden. And then everything's dark again. You feel the rain and the air smells like burning. Like burnt
I look
fuel.
up at the ogre and I'd be like, Bradford, I'll be back to talk about bouquets later.
He's like,
Okay.
This conversation isn't over. I got to work in the morning. And he
No, yeah, you get your rest, man. This is gonna be a while. Like we're doing our thing. Be well.
Yeah, right. So of course, right. Everybody else gets an arguing match, but that's how Torgor makes friends.
Yeah.
Good. I like it.
So, what were we doing?
We're leaving.
Oh, we should go. Yeah.
Okay. So where are you heading? Back to the. So you can. It would take you a long time to get back to. Like here, let's place the host in the shell. So the host in the shell is like down kind of near the Orzhov thing. So I think it's probably like down here. Over here between precincts 4 and 5.
Awesome.
Over there. And then y'all currently are right now, let's see, between 4 and 1. So you're kind of like here, I guess. And then we said that Wenzel's house is like down there.
Where's the jail where they're keeping Wenzel?
We don't know. That is not. So the risk, and we talked about this a little bit. The risk is that he's gonna get moved, right? That right now he's probably in a jail, but when they're done with that, he's gonna end up over here in New Prov, and that's not good.
Wow.
Gonna end up in New.
Was that
Yeah.
the place that she mentioned whenever she was interrogating?
Yeah, can I ask Road just like what they
Road?
were up to? while
So
they
New
were-
Prov is the Azorius headquarters. I think either in New Prov itself or somewhere in Precinct 2, and I can't remember the name of it. I'll check on the break. The Azorius have like a prison in Ravnica where they take all of their prisoners who are going to be there for a long time. It's the Alcatraz of Ravnica, basically. But he isn't there yet. Once he ends up there, he's going to be much harder to get a hold of. If that's where he goes. So you want to kind of try to nab him before he gets moved there. But we'll get to that. So my question is, where do you go? Do you go back to where? Because at Wenzel's, even though it's the middle of the night, your good buddy Rourke is helping you load up the salvage from Wenzel's house onto the back of that behemoth to take back to Host in the Shell. So where do you go? What are you gonna do?
Torgor feels Host in the Shell is still safest. Even if we're being followed, even if we've been made, Host in the Shell is still home base.
That's true. But also, guys, I got a crazy idea.
Torgor is already like perked up. Like
So like emotionally prepared.
Ro
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
say a single thing.
I just remembered that Tack is like bleeding out on the street, but also Tack doesn't notice. So
This is going great so far.
Okay, so what if we go back to Rourke and the behemoth and we take the thing we found, and he puts it in quotes, thing we found, we take it with us to the jail, Wenzel, and maybe we have it hooked up by the time we get there.
What?
Torgor was thinking that we could steal Wenzel before they get to Prov, but
Stealing.
you might be expecting that as opposed to hitting them while he's in New Prov. They're not expecting.
I just mean if we can get this ornithopter hooked up, we might be able to reverse engineer it, so we're spying on them so we can get the drop on them.
Torgor
What
doesn't have that thing that
ornithopter?
you say.
Oh yeah, let's happen.
Yeah, a lot's happened. So actually, maybe that's the good segue, right? Is maybe the group of you, we see you head off in the rain, and you begin to explain to Tack like, here's what we've been up to.
This sounds a lot like crimes.
It was a bit. It's a big crime.
Oh, it was a very big crime.
Yeah.
I told you
Been
you could
heisty.
have fun without me.
And a heist. I put on a character. Am I still dressed as Vigo? I am still dressed.
I
as
can
Vigo.
never keep track of what Torgor is wearing, so yes, I think so.
I've not said I changed out of it, so still got the bone flute instead of the lute. You know.
Mhm, mhm.
God.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
we all-
most disappointed.
Yeah, so that's our like fade to break moment is the group of you walking away in the rain talking about all of the crime you got up to before, and Tack's shrill voice bemoaning their lack of involvement in it.
I never get to do any crimes.
So we'll take a short break here, and when we get back, we can talk about what to do with your stolen ornithopter. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.